On opening day, the field there in Ocean City a little bit unplayable. How frustrating was that?
It was super frustrating. We go out of our way on opening day. My wife does an unbelievable job, plus the Booster Club. You know, we had so many little things lined up, from announcing the game to balloons to candy to everything. I mean, we do it right on opening day, so it was very frustrating, but our field doesn't drain as well as some others. And, you know, we got by the frustrations and had a nice game the very next day, so all's forgotten.
What are the expectations for Ocean City baseball this season? It's been sort of a golden age for Ocean City baseball the last few years, and I know you're the longtime coach there, but a couple top arms leading the way this year, Sean Mooney, Zach Altieri. What are your expectations in terms of those guys leading the way this year?
Well, that's exactly what they have to do. I mean, they're Division I players, and they have to lead us, and we really believe they will. Sean had a dominating outing the other day against Absegami, and we expect the same thing out of Zach. Plus, we have a strong 3, 4, and 5, so we feel that we're going to be very competitive this year. We always go into a season very optimistic, but maybe a little more so than usual.
What about the bats, Craig? Who are we talking about in terms of guys leading the way in the lineup this season?
Well, Mooney last year was our leading hitter. He'll bat number 3. Zach Williams is hitting cleanup. He's doing a great job. Dominic Fiorentino has the ability to take the ball out and hit line drives when he's not, so he's very good. Zach Zeller's got off to a good start. So, I mean, I can kind of go around. This might be one of the best hitting teams we've had in a while, and we think that the hitting will be the key to go along. Now we just got to see the defense, and right now the defense in gym practices, because of the weather, has really been looking strong. I mean, we've been doing a lot of drills. Coach Banks does a great job in that. And, you know, we think our defense will be there too. So we know it's going to be a tough season because this is a very competitive league, and on any given day anyone can beat anyone. But we feel pretty confident that we'll be competitive this year.
Bigger picture question. I mean, what's been the difference in terms of the players you're getting in the last, 3, 4, 5, 6 years? I mean, there have been some great years sporadically from time to time with Ocean City baseball, but it seems like right now, this era, the kids you're getting can really play year in, year out. Has there been a change in the feeder systems there in Ocean City and Upper Township? A lot of times in that area, you and I both know, other sports sort of, take premium, whether it's field hockey or soccer, but baseball seems to really be one of the marquee sports right now in Ocean City.
Yeah, we've been pretty competitive the last 7, 8 years. To answer your question, absolutely. Our feeder systems are doing a good job. We're getting more baseball-first type of guys. They play other sports, which, I encourage. But the youth coaching is much better. The kids are coming in more prepared. They're baseball-first minded. We were just talking about it today at practice, as we were watching a couple of drills. We're just getting better, talented players. I mean, we have to actually tell kids that normally would be starting for us 10 years ago, they just have to be patient, that they have an upperclassman that's a little bit better in front of them. I mean, it's a great situation to be in, a little frustrating for some of the younger players, but they'll get their time, and I'm sure they're going to come through. And we are also kind of blessed. We lucked out with a few excellent school choice players.
Yeah, that school choice program is so vital. I mean, you have kids that wouldn't have been playing for you before coming in and making a difference, right?
Absolutely. I have 3 starters that should be in different high schools, but because of school choice, we lucked out there.
I know you have.
In a way, I feel bad for the other schools.
Well, the system is what it is right now, so just be thankful that those guys are wearing those red and white pinstripes. But I know you have an exciting week coming up. Your team heading to Florida, and this is a nice annual tradition you guys do. So many local teams do. How excited do you guys get for this trip?
The kids are unbelievably excited about it, especially coming off the big win the other day. So we're all pumped up. We have to get up awful early on Monday morning to catch our flight. But when we go down there, we'll have 2 practices the first day, followed by 3 games. And we're playing some very, very tough competition this year, which is going to be very interesting and challenging and exciting all at the same time. We have Faith Baptist Christian, which is nationally ranked, on Tuesday. Then we have Canisius, which we've played before. They're from Buffalo. And Our Lady Good Counsel from Maryland is also a strong team, which we'll be playing down there. So it should be exciting for us.
Catching up right now with Craig Mensinger, head coach of the Ocean City baseball team, as his team in practice right now, getting ready to head south to Florida this week for some competition down there. Craig, is it the same tournament? Is it the same layout year to year? Do you guys mix it up down there?
No, it's the same. It's not a tournament. We just go down there for like our spring training.
Okay.
We wrap practices around games. We don't just go down to play games. And we go to Tampa Bay spring training and in that they set up a schedule for us. Usually it's, schools from other states, but the last couple of years we've actually played some Florida teams, which we can't play a Florida high school team because they have a rule against that, but we played an academy team last year, and this year we're playing a private parochial team right outside of Tampa is where they're housed. So, we're getting good competition when we come down here, and over the years we've done very well, so we're excited.
Obviously, you like to see some great play on the field, but how much of this trip is team bonding as well? I mean, plane flights, travel, practice, all that stuff.
Absolutely. In fact, when I sold the trip, that was part of what I was selling. I said, when you have a team that is very cohesive and you have good team chemistry, everyone pulling for each other, you always have more success than you have guys saying, geez, I should be playing over this kid or whatever, So if you're divisive, you don't have it. And this trip does a great job. When you're living with 4 to a room, doing a lot of team activities, the bonding is definitely there.
Is there a lot of fundraising that goes into this? How do you guys pull this off?
Yeah, Mr. and Mrs. Zellers, they do a great job heading our booster club. A lot of parents step up and do a great job fundraising. We try to only fundraise in our season so we're not stepping on toes with the other sports because fundraising is a big part of everything. But they do a great job, and it's, players also contribute to the trip.
Let's talk some concrete expectations, Craig, for your team this season. I know the big ones always, Diamond Classic berth. Obviously, you'd like to capture a South Jersey championship. Those goals attainable for this team? Throw in Cape Atlantic League championship as well. But are those realistic goals for this group of kids you have this season?
Well, our league is so tough, and Group 3 is predominantly tough year in and year out for South Jerseys. But that's our goal. Our goal is just what you said, to make the Diamond Classic, to win our conference, and to win South Jerseys and go on to the States, and then who knows what happens. You get a hot pitcher, you can ride them all the way. So, there are goals, but we just know we're going to be competitive. Baseball's a funny game. You get a bad bounce here, a bad bounce there. You run into a hot pitcher, even if your pitcher's good. You just never know. So you have to compete each game, and hopefully that you come out on top. And we feel we will be very competitive this year.
Ocean City winning that South Jersey title a few years back. The Red Raiders have been close in more recent years. I believe a few appearances in South Jersey championship games, not quite able to get over the hump. I know a few of those guys are still in the program. How much does that fuel you and those players to get that back to that level and maybe one step further?
Yeah, well, Mooney and Alturi were our players that are chomping at the bit to get back there because they were on that last one where we lost a heartbreaker to Burlington. So, yeah, they're definitely excited to get back there again, and they're going to be a driving force to push us that far, I hope.
Craig, I also wanted to get your take on the new Cape Atlantic League layout, sort of these super conferences this season. What's your opinion on the way that the Cal has changed the scheduling this season?
Well, my feelings is there should be a conference champ. But I always like the fact that you could recognize some other schools with the divisions. I was always for, even if you don't win your division, if you actually had the best record within the conference, you should still be the conference champ. I know we lost at one time, and so did Millville, if my memory's right, one time. We were clearly the best teams in the conference those years, but because we didn't play well against some other teams, we ended up not even winning our division, so we couldn't go to it. So I like the opportunity to represent more kids and more schools, but I always thought there should be a conference champ. So on one hand, I'm saying I like the conference champ idea. On the other hand, I'm saying, I really wish some more schools could be recognized.
And then finally, I'll ask you, and this is not Ocean City baseball related, but it's a hot topic right now. And this final score, I'm sure you've seen it. Buna beating Pleasantville the other day, 52-3. And we've talked about it a little bit on the show this morning. You've been around the game a long time. It's a tough spot. I mean, when one team's that much better than the other team, really no winners in this. I just wanted to get your take on maybe things that could need to change in terms of any kind of change to the mercy rule.
Well, believe it or not, I've been on both sides of that. One time we got beat 32-0 by Millville, and believe me, they were not trying to run it up. Just the wind was blowing out, and they just hit like 5 home runs. It was unbelievable, and we lost to them 2-1 the next time we played them. Then I also, a couple of years ago, we beat a team 32-0, and I just kept shaking my head. In the second inning, I was substituting, and, the kids that don't get to play much, you don't want to tell them to try to make outs. So they were hitting the ball, and we were going station to state. We were doing everything to be a good sport, and the other team took it well. Also, they understood what I was doing, and, just sometimes that just happens. I think there could be a rule that changes, like if you got up by 15, then it's it's over no matter how many innings are played. I mean, that could be something that could possibly be looked at.
All right, Craig Mensinger, head coach of the Ocean City baseball team, off to a good start so far. Have a lot of fun with your kids down in Florida, and good luck to you and your guys down there and the rest of the way.
All right, thanks a lot, Michael.
You got it. Craig Mensinger, head coach of the Ocean City baseball team. Again, Ocean City.